Welcome to Cherie's weight loss journey. Whew, had to hit the ground running today. Even though it says it's warmer, it feels colder. I don't know if it's because the ground is less warm or whatever the case may be. You know, it definitely feels colder. um, yes, last night for snack I did have the pudding. And I was glad I had the pudding. Uh, yeah. So anyway, needless to say, um, this was something that, people need to understand, right? When it's cold, a lot of people don't like water, right? Because they know when it's cold and trying to bathe, right, could increase their chances of getting sick. Hold on. Oh my goodness. I turned on my heater and I lost 10% of my battery turning on my car heater. I lost 5% turning on my heated seats. And I'm like, okay, this is fucked up, right? That's okay. As soon as it gets a little warm in the car, I'm going to turn it off. But yeah, the movie that I was watching was a movie about a white man who was a writer, and he went and became a homeless man so that he could write the experiences of what it felt like to be a homeless person. He had to learn, a safe place, to sleep. He was kind of creative, and he slept in the trees in the park until they found out about him. And, these people were sleeping in New York out in the cold. Okay? Out in the cold. I don't know what kind of tolerance, or immunity they had built up, to be able to tolerate the cold and the snow. But they were doing it. They were doing the damn thing, okay? They did the damn thing. And what was interesting to me was the fact that the man that he was actually following, his name was Jake, right? you know, he had stated that, you know, he was living that life because he preferred not to live this structured life. You know, which goes back to some of the things that, you know, I had been recording, right? Which is how, you know, you have some people, you know, who will say, oh, you know, the fallen angels, they just wanted to be free and be, you know, do whatever they want to do. And, you know, and the only way that you can truly express that you're free is that, you know, it's all gas and no brakes. Okay? And we see this, you know, throughout society where, you know, people feel like, hey, you know, the only way that you can truly do what you want to do is if you have no restrictions whatsoever, right? And, you know, this is expressed a lot of times, you know, in our addictions, okay? Whether it's a food addiction, a sex addiction, a power addiction, a sex addiction, you name it, you know, love addiction, you know, dependent on other people addiction. It doesn't matter, right? We just want to do it excessively, right? With no consequences whatsoever. And it's like we embark on these quests, you know, specifically to see, you know, how much we can get away with. Yeah. Damn. They done closed off the road or something up here. Looks like I might have to do a detour. Damn. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do a detour. Okay. So anyway, getting back to what I was talking about was how, you know, that same mentality has been fractaled. I mean, that same behavior has been fractaled into our society, you know, where we don't feel like we're actually free, you know, unless we can be, you know, as excessive as we want, you know, with no breaks and no consequences, right? So I was thinking about that, you know, like in myself, right? Who, you know, I like what I like, and, you know, I'm gonna do what I like, and, you know, and you know, and oftentimes enough, you know, it's about food. Often enough, it is about food. So my food can be an addiction, which also can be, unhealthy and lead to disease. Period. Okay? Let's keep it real. Especially because, when we were kids and stuff, and, or even in society, something you don't like, they'll throw in an hors d'oeuvre or treat or maybe, if you don't want to attend an event, they might serve your favorite food, so it's not uncommon that people will use food to tempt you, very much in the same way, that people will use food in a mouse trap, to trap the mouse, if that's their weakness. If shiny things or money or something is their weakness, they may use something else. The bottom line is that you need to understand that we have a very, very, very manipulative society, right? And even if, you don't believe the different personalities of what is considered evil, then at least, you can believe that those characteristics are real, in other people. Which, a lot of people, they're not willing to do, we see that in situations where, somebody is so invested in a relationship that even though they may even catch the person, in an awkward situation, and they just like, well, explain yourself. Like, and that was one of the biggest humorous statements, that men have been, talking about for centuries, telling, their spouse, it wasn't love, it was just sex, and it was just like, what kind of admission was that, yeah. So, interesting enough, I still have my tuna salad at work, and I brought some more Quest protein bars and a pack of Quest protein chips. I brought some cheese that I could melt on it, and I also brought a hot link. eat it. Okay? Because, I didn't eat the tuna yesterday like I had planned. But, I did make sure that last night I had my high protein chocolate pudding. And that was good. I really like that. I almost wanted to take some chocolate high protein pudding to work with me, but I couldn't find my little thermos. If I had found my little thermos, I would have brought some. But I decided against it. I'm like, okay, since you can't bring it to work with you, you can still have it when you get off work. So yeah. If we're allowed an extra break because they've added on an hour to our tour schedule, they make it a point not to let anybody know, which is like, really? How are you the supervisor and you don't want to let your people know their rights? Are you leading them, or are you truly taking advantage of them? Or worse, are you against your own employees, having adequate rest, to function optimal? Because that's one of the things that I have been wondering. It just seems to me that the way that they set up the schedule is that they have maximized the time that they're allowed, to work people and not give them a break. And then when they add on mandatory extra time and still don't allow them a break, it just seems to be a little bit illegal. Like they're violating, the fair employment, laws. Yes, this is on my mind a little bit, right? Because I'll tell you, like 3 hours in, and I had to use the restroom. And that's when it occurred to me. It was like, wow, it seems like this would be a good time for a bathroom break. And then just the word break kind of triggered me. Like, yeah, maybe you should be having a break here with this extra time. So anyway, I could not, hold, my bowels. So I went to, a bathroom break. And so anyway, that was a subject that was in this movie, where this guy was stating that he had to really schedule his eating habits so he could actually, time it to where he could go and use the bathroom inside of this local diner, and I'm like, wow, that's interesting, right? Whereas, the hobos, they went when they had to go. And if they took a shit, they just wiped their ass on, the easiest piece of cloth, they had handy. Or paper, or leaf. Yeah, it kind of blew my mind watching, this movie. It's an older movie. I can't even tell, how old, but it was definitely old enough to where people who wanted to show that they had money was riding around in limos instead of Lamborghinis. So yeah. I feel that in time, I might get more serious, about, enhancing my gifts. But the only time I really feel like I have to enhance my gifts is when I can't eat, right? And that's the one thing I remember saying, during 2020 was, I'm not a person to get along with, when I'm hungry. I'm just not. I remember saying it, you don't want me hungry, So yeah. Woo, it's 38 degrees out here right now. This chill is kind of chilly, right? In my little part of the world, it was around 50. But moving around down here, it's 38 degrees. And even though I just have the seat on, you know, the air in the car has a chill in it. And oh look, fall rowing. I missed out on the fall rowing. Maybe next year. Well, it seems like they should have a spring rowing or even a summer rowing. Oh wow. Bopo, Bopo. Is it an angel number? More apartments being built. I like the fact that they didn't break the law. I guess they were waiting at this light and it didn't seem like the light was changing, so they went straight and then turned around. But the light does work. So, with a little bit of patience, or maybe I set off the sensor because I was in the inner lane and I moved up some. So far this morning, I've seen 2 people out here exercising. They were men. And I was feeling like, wow, is that dedication? Or what? You want to be healthy to the extreme that, you can catch pneumonia. Right, because let's face it, oh shit, the temperature dropped. Now I'm at 37. So we're 5 degrees above what we call freezing. And this is something that's kind of sudden for our area where I'm at. Like I said, we had an extreme temperature drop. Which is weird because, I hadn't really noticed any chemtrails. And I can't even tell you, on days like this, it's almost a relief to use the heat that comes with working in these warm ass warehouses. I had considered working at a grocery store, and I was reading some of the description about how, working at the grocery store, that you would, you would be working, both outside and all weather and in refrigeration. And I was like, wait a minute. you're really gonna have to think about this one. And my mind was like gone as soon as I started thinking about wet and cold is not for me. So I didn't put in that transfer. I did not. The seat is getting a little toasty. Even though the air is hot, the air is cold, the seat got toasty. Have a lot to say today. I just basically hope and pray that I get through this day without a wreck, and that should I have any problems, that I handle it appropriately. Okay, but I decided to wear a wig today, a wig and a hat, to make sure that my head stays warm, right? And that was one of the things that I was really thinking about, right, this morning. I was like, look, yeah, a hat can keep your head warm, but a wig and a hat will really keep your head warm. And I was like, just do it, right? Because I'm also wearing a nylon cap, over my hair, to keep it, to keep my hair contained. So I actually have 3 layers of stuff on top of my head. So my head's not cold. My head is not cold. Now my thighs and my knees, they feel a little cold. Let's keep it real. Well, I was gonna say my shins feel a little chilly, but they don't feel really cold because I have on compression socks, so they're not that cold. And today I did not walk out of the house wearing slippers. I put on my tennis shoes, so my feet are cool. They're not cold. it doesn't seem like it would be, this busy. But because we live in this new order, it's become almost that people have become accustomed to working all day and all night. Okay? So, I think that's all I have to talk about today, because nothing really profound or interesting has, been downloaded to me. The wicked will still be wicked and do evil things. And the good people are slowly starting to see that, the only time wicked wins is when the good people do nothing. Right? Okay. Remember that. Right? Even if it's just a statement that says, you shouldn't do that. Or, if it's illegal, you definitely have the right to report them. That's one of the things that, I talk about so often, right? Is, you'll have these women, in these households. They're the first people that witness the illegal and abusive activity that happen in the homes. And they never reported, So hopefully, oh shit, it's the first day of December. And they're supposed to be what they call the Femme Freeze in the month of December. This is where women are boycotting doing a sit down against, these misogynistic males out here, where they're not going to, freely, or willingly, just, become their playthings. And I really hope that, that there's enough women out here that will stick to the plan. It was planned back in, in November to commence the whole month of December. Now, here's the thing, right? If women don't have the self-discipline, not to indulge in this debauchery, that is going to make, us question as to, have they been imprinted? Or, are they indeed just as guilty in this debauchery and heathenistic behavior that, a lot of women are blaming the men for? And of course, we can say, oh no, it's all about free love. There's no such thing as free love. There's nothing free on the planet. Right? Nothing's free on the planet. And some people say, oh, the air is free. No, you have to labor. Your body has to labor in order to process air into your body. So shut the fuck up. Anyway, I better get off of here before I, put myself in a bad mood. But anyway, bye. Interesting enough, I watched a female connect her dash cam onto her car before she was leaving. I was like, that's what I need. And we kind of need that today because of the recklessness that's going on out here in the world. Not to mention, you can, come upon some, some good footage of people doing some foolishness. Just wanted to come on and say that because that's one of the things that, I had kind of put on, my Santa's wish list is that I would get a camera, either a GoPro or a dash cam. Either one of those would be just fine for me because, oh my gosh, we are definitely a media society right now. And for good reason. For good reason. Because it's like you wouldn't believe, that people are actually doing these things unless you actually seen it. Now I'm ready to go. Bye.